It's another fine day here at the farm, and we're now into February. Now, February didn't have too much going on, so I don't think we're gonna sit around and wait. Huh, that was fast. Ah, I was gonna say, we don't need to really wait too terribly long. No need to sit around and wonder, because there's really nothing much to do on the farm. It's snow, it's miserable, and no contracts. So I don't see why we would just sit around and do nothing. We may as well fast forward to when the weather actually starts to get nice. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to fast forward time, and once we can actually find something useful to do with our time, then we'll stop there and we'll see what that looks like. Well, there you go. Now we're into March, and wouldn't you know it, our wool pallets here, they're all full. And this entire paddock is full, so I had to push everything off to the side. So at some point we're going to bring these off to the market. Not sure if we need to do it today for whatever reason, but some point soon. And just one more time, I do want to check here. This is hay indeed, and this is also hay. So I did see when I looked through my charts here with the animals, I see I can give a little more food to the pigs. The food has gone down a little bit over winter, which is fine. We could probably do, if we have any grain left, we could give them corn or wheat or barley. That's for all the pigs. Sheep, they definitely need more hay, so that should be something we'll look into. And contracts, there weren't any, so we won't bother with that. Oh yes, while I'm thinking of it, let's open that door. I have a feeling that we're going to push a wagon in there. And we do have a tractor here on the yard, which is wonderful. We'll go and grab this tractor, and we will hook it up to, oh, that's not what I wanted. We'll hook it up to one of our bale trailers, and we shall give the sheep a little more hay. That'll be the first task of the day. And then we shall see what we do beyond that. I do believe there are some crops that we can plant already, and I'm going to go over the chart with you guys just to see what is in season and what is not. Okay, we'll leave that John Deere wagon for now. Okay, and here comes the tricky part. Now these wagons, they are tough to get in, especially when you're trying to back into a small doorway. You gotta do that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take it nice and slow. Because you don't try to hurry. So that's just a little bit ahead. Isn't that straight again? Just something slow. And I'm hoping at some point the game's going to grab set bales. But so far, not this time up. So just not bouncing. At some point here we should start to see the game 1 2. There we go. We've undone the straps. And I am not seeing the game grabbing these bales at all. Not sure, maybe we just feed them right here at the front by the door. Is that what we're looking for? Huh, interesting. We'll take one more look at the sheep. Yeah, so it did take a little bit. It just didn't take a whole bale, that's all. Alrighty, not to worry. The bales can sit there indefinitely. Now, as for crops that are in season right now for planting, we have sunflowers, potatoes, sugar beet, oats, sugarcane, grapes, if you will, olives. Most of those I'm not really interested in. Although I do want to have some sunflower this year. I feel like that's a really good crop to grow. And so I think we shall see where we want to put our sunflower. Now, let us look and see what is growing and where. Field number 10 is empty. We had soybeans there last time. And number 7 is empty. So if I were to take, let's say, do half of number 7 with sunflower, I think that'd be plenty big enough. Actually, no, let's do number 6 because it's closer to the beehives. And that way they can pollinate a little better. Yes, we shall do number 6 with sunflower. Now, once again, here's all 4 of the tractors that we bought in the previous year, pretty much. Beautiful set of tractors. And so what I'm looking at is which one of these is going to be the one to plant the sunflowers. I have a feeling this one's going to be a little bit big. But here's what I'm thinking. And you guys can tell me what you guys think in the comments below as to whether this is a smart idea or not. What I am seeing, this is our current planter. Over there we have seed drills. Those are not planters. This is the planter. This one was good for 75 horsepower. We're now well beyond that. We're somewhere around the tune of 180 horsepower. What I am proposing is that we sell this old contraption and we go and get ourselves a bigger one. Namely, I did see a really nice John Deere, and I was going to take a look at that and see what we thought about it. And maybe I'll even get this one. This one's 9 meters, but this is what we have right now. 75 horsepower, does 2.5 meters, and we have this John Deere here, only needs 100 horsepower, and it's good for 6 meters, and it's cheap. It's only 250 bucks more than the brand new International, but it does more than double. So my thinking was, well, you know, oh, we can go for big capacities. Wow. Of course, a triangle. Markers. No, we don't really need markers because we don't ever use them. And design color can be just like that. I'm thinking we should get this. And we might get a bigger one eventually. But I'm thinking this probably big enough. Or do we go for that red one? Which is this one. Let's just see what our power on our tractor is. 179, so 180 horses. What we'd be looking at. Do we do that and just right away get the... I don't even know how to pronounce that name. That's a very odd combination of letters there. K-V-E-R-N-E-L-A-N-D. Wow, I can barely speak. So that's a girthy one right there. But again, we would have a lot more rows, because that is 9 meters versus 6. Or do we stick with the John Deere simply because it looks a little more old-fashioned? This one right here looks a little more old-timey. I don't know. Hard to tell. Well, I think this is not a bad purchase. Why not? We'll purchase this one. Yes. Okay. And then on the same token, we'll grab the old International and we shall sell. Alright. That might also mean that it won't have room in here anymore. It's going to be a fairly big unit. We may just have to park it over here somewhere underneath the shed. Go away, dear. Anyway, let's go to the store. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, and this is precisely why I want to keep one service truck around. Although the hitch is very mysterious, but the service truck allows us to tow the implements home at a accelerated rate. But that looks pretty decent, I would say. It's not a big field that we're planning on filling with sunflower. So that'll probably be just perfect. Alright, we'll bring her back to the farm and we'll have us a look and see what it does. Let's see what happens. I have a feeling even this little 95 horse tractor could pull that planter, but we'll put 122 horse to it. Give it a little extra. And besides, who wants to right away beat up their vehicles? That's just not even right. The truck actually has a little bit of fuel left. I do need to order some more. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do that sometime in this episode. Gotta order more fertilizer and also more fuel. It's all something that kind of has to happen slowly but surely. Here we are. It doesn't look too overwhelming for the tractor. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can all see. No, that looks alright. I would say so. That looks mighty fine. Well, let's see how the new planter works. Let's get her all straightened out. Something like so. Alright. You guys watching the little man inside? Because now we're going to hire a worker. Different man. Oh yes. No problem. And how does it look? Oh, that is gorgeous. There's some nice ridges. Nothing to complain about here. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Alright. Well, as this guy's doing his job, we have a few other things we can take care of. I am wondering if our canola could use a little more fertilizer. I'm not sure if it will need. I'm going to test this out in just a sec. In fact, as I jump out right now, I will take a look. Fertilize is 100%, it says, so that's good. But we could possibly do it on our hay field. So why don't we do that? We'll whip this thing around and let's see if our hay field needs any. It's a good thing our canola field is properly fertilized. A little less work for us later when things start to get real busy. We're just pulling over here to our grass. Alright. Let's have us a look. Only 50%. Very good. Then it looks like our tractor's got a job to do. I do believe we can do a swath about this wide. There we are. Yes, definitely. We're actually doing a little over, but that's okay. We're just fertilizing my yard. Beautiful. We'll let him do his thing. One of the things that we were really trying to do last year was get a bunker of some sort to put our stones in, and unfortunately this will not work. I do have a fair bit of stones inside of the stone picker, but yeah, that their bunker is not going to work. We're gonna have to build something else in order to take care of that. And all of these bins are all empty, every single last one of them, which is fine. We hope to fill a fair bit of them. There's some massive bins around here now. This is quite the yard. It looks like it did a little bit of fascinating landscaping here. But we're not using this driveway anyway. We can potentially just go down like that. I may just end up graveling it right there and then putting some grass down over here just to cut things off. Yeah, it looks like it's this bin right here that added some interesting, well, I guess that one too. They added a little bit of interesting layout. But so many big bins now. That is fantastic. I'm just taking a look around at the rest of my yard here, and that trailer is mighty filthy. But more importantly, our honey is being collected at a substantial rate again. Won't take long, this shed will be full. That is good. We will get ourselves another one of these tarped trailers and we'll auto load it all in there, and that will be perfect. We can haul it all away like that. We should probably check our eggs as well, since we're thinking of it. Chicken feed seems to have gone down a fair bit over winter, which, you know, makes sense. It was not that high to start with. And it does look like eggs are just about full. We got one little corner left on the pallet and they are full. So here we see 13,000 liters, but the health is still 100% because they're still getting food. And they're clucking along happily as ever. Our corn planter, or I guess this time sunflowers, is doing beautifully. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe once we're done fertilizing the grass field over here, we can put the fertilizer tractor on the field with the sunflower and give it a little top up. See how the fertilizer tractor is doing. He's just about done, if I had to say. That is very impressive. Look at that. Just whipping right along. That is wonderful. 50%, and now it goes up to 100. That is just great. Love to see it. You know what I had forgotten? I had wheat in this little dump truck. So now I can add a little bit for the chickens and for the pigs. Wow. It's almost like I knew exactly how I was going to react. There we go. 50%. Pigs have a little bit, and we shall go and give the chickens the rest of this. Almost like I was a farmer preparing for my hard winter. Almost. I do see we have a bunch of contracts here for fertilizing. And you can better believe I will take the two most profitable ones. I think that would be just fancy. Perfect. Oh, I had hired a worker for this, and apparently I'd set my truck cruise control to only 8, which was not great for this truck. Sorry about the squiggles though. I was trying to set my cruise while driving. Anyway. We're just gonna whip right into the yard, and we're gonna go give those chickens the rest of this feed. They will have nothing to complain about. Absolutely nothing. There we are. You'd think an auger would be needed for this bin, but apparently not. Somehow magically goes into the ground and feeds the chickens. There you go. All done. Yeah, I might give this a little rinse right away while I'm at it. And then we'll see how the rest of our machinery is working. Alright, truck is clean. Now I gotta go make an order, seeing as this fuel tank is empty. Now the most we can do is 2,000 liters. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to buy 2,000 liters. And we're going to fill up this truck because it is in dire need. I say dire, not that bad. There we go. But it still needed a fair bit of fuel. And it doesn't get to come back to the yard a lot. So I wanted to make sure I got it fueled while it was here. And it looks like one of our workers has completed their task. Now, if I had to venture as to who that might be, it would be the fertilize guy. Somehow, I just had a feeling. So what I want to do, I want to take a look at his hard work that he did here. I think that's pretty good. There's one little patch that he missed, but that's not too terrible. We won't hold it against him. Okay. Now there were a couple fields that needed fertilizing, number 8 and number 9, which are down there. Alright. That's not hard to get to. We'll just follow the grass trail here and get on to number 8. We'll start fertilizing there. We'll go get their units as well. And we'll go from there. Our corn planter's all done. That is just wonderful. I guess this time it was sunflowers, but you guys understand what I was trying to say. Now we need to find a spot for it, seeing as it's all done here. And I'm thinking underneath the combine shed is probably going to be the best spot for it until I can organize things a little better. In a perfect world, I would put it in on the other side and maybe move the grain cart to the combine side. Hey, who's to say it can't be a perfect world right now? Why don't we do that? There's nothing stopping us. We'll move the grain cart out, see if the planter fits in there. Or, yeah, the planter. If it does, then good for us. If not, no harm, no foul. I'm sure this should have room. Wow, I am noticing some lag in my frames. Not sure why that is, but we won't worry too much. Maybe you guys have noticed it all along and I'm just now noticing it. I could chalk it up to that as well. Yeah, one thing I did want to mention is I finally got a functional controller and steering wheel for my PC. So this Texas flat map is potentially going to be the last map I do with you guys on PlayStation. I will be migrating over to PC unless all of a sudden I do get issues with PC, and then, you know, these things tend to happen from time to time. But if all goes well, then we'll be running PC only. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm hoping that it's going to work out well for us. Hopefully there's not too many issues I need to deal with. I know for one, my boom mic does sound like a tin can, so I'm not very happy with that. I may just use these Astro headset mic that I am using right now, just because you guys recognize my voice like this. And I also do have a different mic that I could try as well. So just kind of playing around with things, seeing what works and what doesn't, and we will go from there. I'm just taking a look at what all of our neighbors are planting, and wouldn't you know it, field number 8 is going to be sunflower as well. Well, who would have thunk it, eh? Number 3 is still bare. Number 2 is barley, so hopefully we get that contract. 11 is cotton, which we want no part. 12 is barley. And 13 looks like it's getting planted with soybeans. Got some more canola down here. And wheat on 16. That'll be a nice little contract. And oat on number 9. That's fascinating. So we got a good little bit of stuff. And potatoes on field 1. So that'll be another one that we'll be keeping a close eye on, just to see if we need to get some potatoes for our pork needs. But so far not that many root crops. 14 usually tends to be a root crop. We'll see if it will be again. What I'm thinking right now is possibly number 10. We could do corn. And then number 7 we'll do a split. Maybe have half soybeans and half barley. That's just my initial thoughts. We'll kind of see how things play out. If I didn't have to worry about not getting contract for number 2 or number 12, then I wouldn't worry about barley. But, you know, we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. It seems as though one of the contracts is now complete. That's perfect. I'm going to take a look and see what we've got finished here. Looks like field number 9 is all complete. If my math is mathing here. But that means field number 8 is still not done. Now let's take a look at that map real quick. And let's see what we got here. Okay, so it was number 9 that was complete. And number 8 that is still being worked on. That's how it was. Alright, we'll put this one on number 8 as well. Even though it is also nearly complete. As you can see, a good section of the field is done, but this will just help expedite things by having 2 tractors on the same field. Should make for some quick work. Oh yeah, you'll see the tractor pop over the horizon here in just a moment. Unless we are a little too quick for him, which it appears. That's alright. Okay. Let's set our tractor in place. Good. Says reserved for contract work. Yes, indeed, this is contract work. Oop. And let's take a look. Yes. Beautiful. Okay, and where is our tractor? We were out fertilizing field number 7, I believe. Looks like a strip has been left out. Interesting. Should probably take care of that yet too. There we go. Well, we're going to be done fertilizing here before we know it. And I think with that thought in mind, it would be a good time to wish you guys all a very fantastic rest of your week. Or weekend if it happens to be watched during the weekend. Either way, hopefully things are going great. Welcome to the new season, and yeah, let's hope we can meet again here next week, same time. Till then, take care.